While waiting at GPO in Hyderabad, India during the 80s, I disembarked one bus to catch another en route to college. It was then I found myself engaged in a conversation with an elderly gentleman about the nature of time. He casually mentioned how even Einstein grappled with the elusive concept of time. His words resonated deeply with me. If a mind as brilliant as Einstein's could be confounded by time, perhaps it warranted further exploration on my part. What is time? Became one of the paramount questions I mulled over during my college years. Alongside pondering the meaning of life and the mysterious disappearance of socks in the laundry. It made me ponder the cosmic dependency of my life on time. There'll be those classic moments, leaving the nest for college, joining the workforce after college, and eventually saying I do, taking that leap into matrimony. Time seems to have a knack for orchestrating these life events, but I can't help but wonder if time's just following my lead, or if I'm dancing to time's tune. Time seems woven into the fabric of these milestones, but I also wondered, is my life dependent on time, or is time dependent on my understanding of what time is? Then there's that existential twist when I think about what happens when I'm no longer part of the earthly dance. Will the earth keep spinning for those who outlive me, or does it all cease with my departure? It's a conundrum akin to the chicken and egg paradox. I found myself spending countless hours in the library, immersed in books and theories about time. It became somewhat of an obsession for me. A few weeks later, while riding the bus, exhaustion caught up with me, and I drifted into that hazy state between wakefulness and sleep. In that moment, a voice echoed in my mind, whispering, time is an illusion. It left me pondering the profound idea that time might be more mysterious and elusive than I could grasp during those days. I'm Joe Bandra. I was born in Hyderabad, India, during the 1960s. In the 1980s, I relocated to the United States and pursued my education at Stanford University in Palo Alto, California, and later at Harvard University in Boston, Massachusetts. For over 25 years, I've dedicated to the field of medical physics. Currently, I live just 45 minutes away from Chicago O'Hare International Airport. I am actively involved in visiting social, religious, and educational institutions. I find great joy in sharing my insights and speaking on the subject of metaphysics and the eternal truth found in all religions and philosophies. What is time? Time is a complex concept deeply integrated into how we perceive and interact with the world around us. Here are a few key points to help explain what time is. 1. Measurement of change. Time is often thought of as the measurement of change. It's how we quantify the duration between events or the intervals during which things happen. 2. Dimension. Time is considered one of the dimensions in which events occur, along with 3 spatial dimensions: length, width, height. Together, these dimensions form what is known as space-time in the context of Einstein's theory of relativity. 3. Relative nature. Time is relative, meaning its perception can vary based on factors such as speed and gravity. This concept is described by Einstein's theories of relativity. For example, time can appear to pass differently for observers in different reference frames. 4. Units of time. Humans have developed various units to measure time, such as seconds, minutes, hours, days, years, etc. These units help us organize our activities and understand the passage of time in a structured manner. 5. Physics and philosophy. Time is a topic of interest in both physics and philosophy. Physicists study time's role in the laws of nature, while philosophers ponder questions about the nature of time itself, such as whether it has a beginning or end. 6. Perception and experience. Our perception of time can vary based on factors such as age, emotions, and circumstances. Time can seem to pass quickly during enjoyable moments and slowly during boring or stressful times. What is the origin of time? The concept of the origin of time is intricate and has fascinated scientists, philosophers, and theologians for centuries. Here are a few perspectives on this complex topic. 1. Philosophical and theological views. In philosophical and theological contexts, the origin of time is often tied to broader questions about the origins of the universe. Many religious and creation narratives propose different ideas about how time began, often in conjunction with the creation of the universe itself. For example, in Abrahamic religions of Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, the concept of time's beginning is tied to the creation story in the book of Genesis. 2. Cosmological theories. From a scientific standpoint, the origin of time is intricately linked with the Big Bang theory, which is currently the prevailing cosmological model explaining the early development of the universe. According to this theory, around 13.8 billion years ago, the universe began as a singularity, a point of infinite density and temperature. At this singularity, not only did space and matter come into existence, but time itself is thought to have begun. This idea suggests that time, space, and matter are interconnected and emerged simultaneously during the Big Bang. 3. Quantum physics and time. Quantum physics introduces fascinating perspectives on time, particularly regarding its fundamental nature. Some interpretations of quantum mechanics propose that time might not be as linear and absolute as it appears in our everyday experience. Concepts like time dilation, as described by Einstein's theory of relativity, and quantum entanglement challenge our intuitive understanding of time as a continuous, unidirectional flow. 4. Multiverse and time. Speculative theories like the multiverse hypothesis raise intriguing questions about time's origin across different branches or universes. If the multiverse theory holds true, each universe within the multiverse could have its own distinct timeline and set of physical laws, further complicating the question of time's ultimate origin. While these perspectives provide some beliefs about time, the definitive answer is not yet established. In Hinduism, the concept of time is deeply intertwined with the cosmological and philosophical understanding of the universe. Time, known as Kala or Kaala in Sanskrit, is considered a fundamental aspect of creation and existence. Kindly excuse my pronunciation of the Sanskrit language. Here are some key aspects of the concept of time in Hinduism. 1. Cyclical nature. Hinduism views time as cyclical rather than linear. The universe undergoes repeated cycles of creation, preservation, and dissolution, known as yugas, or epochs. These cycles are part of a larger cosmic timescale, known as the Kalpa, which represents a day in the life of Brahma, the creator deity. 2. Divine timekeepers. Hindu mythology includes various deities associated with timekeeping. Lord Shiva, as Mahakala or Mahakal, is often depicted as the lord of time and destruction, symbolizing the cyclical nature of creation and dissolution. Goddess Kali is another deity associated with time and the cosmic cycles. 3. Yugas, ages. Hindu scriptures describe different ages or epochs, yugas, that represent different stages of human and cosmic evolution. The 4 main yugas are Satya Yuga, the age of truth and righteousness, Treta Yuga, Dvapara Yuga, and Kali Yuga, the current age, characterized by moral and spiritual decline. These yugas follow a descending order in terms of virtue and longevity. 4. Cosmic time scales. Hindu cosmology encompasses vast time scales beyond human comprehension. A Manvantara represents a period ruled by a Manu, a progenitor of humanity, and consists of 71 Mahayugas. A Kalpa comprises a day in the life of Brahma, equivalent to billions of human years, divided into 14 Manvantaras. 5. Karma and time. The concept of karma, the law of cause and effect, is closely linked to time in Hinduism. Actions performed in previous lives, past karma, influence one's present circumstances and future experiences. time is seen as a medium through which karma unfolds and souls evolve through cycles of birth and rebirth, samsara. 6. Timelessness and eternal reality. While Hinduism acknowledges the cyclical nature of time, it also emphasizes the timeless and eternal nature of the ultimate reality, Brahman. Spiritual practices such as meditation and devotion aim to transcend temporal limitations and connect with the timeless essence within and beyond the manifested universe. Overall, the concept of time in Hinduism is multifaceted, encompassing cosmic cycles, divine principles, moral dimensions, and the pursuit of spiritual liberation beyond the constraints of time and space. In Buddhism, the concept of time is explored in relation to impermanence, causality, and the nature of existence. Here are key aspects of how time is understood in Buddhism. 1. Impermanence, anicca. Central to Buddhist teachings is the principle of impermanence, which asserts that all conditioned phenomena are transient and subject to change. Time, therefore, is seen as a continuous flow of change, where nothing remains fixed or permanent. This includes physical phenomena, mental states, and the passage of moments. 2. Momentariness, kshanabhangavada. In some Buddhist traditions, particularly in Mahayana and Vajrayana schools, the concept of momentariness is emphasized. This view posits that reality is composed of discrete moments, kshana, that arise and cease in rapid succession, giving the appearance of continuity. Each moment is distinct and interconnected with the preceding and succeeding moments, illustrating the impermanent nature of all phenomena. 3. Dependent origination, pratitya samutpada. Buddhist philosophy teaches the principle of dependent origination, which describes the interdependent nature of all phenomena. According to this principle, everything arises in dependence on multiple causes and conditions, forming complex causal chains. Time, therefore, is understood within this framework of interdependence, where past actions, karma, present conditions, and future consequences are intricately linked. 4. The three times, trikala. Buddhist scriptures often mention the three times, past, present, and future, as a conceptual framework to understand the nature of time. However, these times are not viewed as absolute or independent entities. Instead, they are seen as interrelated and co-arising, reflecting the continuous unfolding of existence. 5. Mindfulness and time awareness. The practice of mindfulness, sati, in Buddhism, involves being fully present in the current moment, without attachment to past regrets or future anxieties. Mindfulness cultivates awareness of impermanence and the transient nature of experiences, helping practitioners develop a deeper understanding of time's subjective nature. 6. Eternal present moment. While emphasizing impermanence and change, some Buddhist teachings also point to the timeless nature of the present moment. The practice of meditation and mindfulness aims to bring one's awareness to the timeless here and now, where past and future dissolve, and the true nature of reality is perceived directly. The concept of time in Buddhism is intertwined with core teachings on impermanence, causality, interdependence, and the cultivation of present moment awareness as a path to wisdom and liberation from suffering. Is time something real, or is it merely a mental construct, an illusion shaped by our perceptions? This question becomes especially intriguing when we consider how time can feel differently depending on our activities. For instance, when we're engrossed in enjoyable tasks, time seems to fly by. Yet during periods of boredom or waiting, it can feel excruciatingly slow. This subjective experience prompts us to ponder whether time is truly objective or if it's heavily influenced by our individual perceptions and experiences. This perspective suggests a level of subjectivity regarding time, emphasizing its relativity and questioning concepts like how much time I have or how long I will live as subjective constructs. If time is indeed subjective, does it exist solely in the mind of the observer? Alternatively, does time exist in relativistic terms as a coordinate within the space-time continuum, suggesting that we live in a four-dimensional space-time? From a scientific standpoint, time is often defined as another dimension of the universe, according to physicists. We commonly think of space in terms of three dimensions: forward and backward, right and left, and up and down. Time, then, becomes the fourth dimension encompassing past and future. This viewpoint merges space and time into a single concept known as space-time, reflecting their inseparability in the fabric of the universe. Throughout history, physicists and philosophers have explored various theories about time. Newton's era perceived time as intertwined with space, where it served as a measure of cyclical events. However, Einstein's revolutionary theories introduced time as an integral aspect of space-time, revealing a deeper interconnectedness where time becomes a dimension of our motion through space. Scientists and spiritual figures, including philosophers, theologians, rabbis, pundits, monks, and mullahs, have endeavored to establish a connection between the divine realm and the material realm. However, the more they attempted to bridge this gap, the more they encountered difficulties. Attempting to convert time into eternity is akin to adding up finite elements to achieve the infinite, which is an erroneous approach. The accumulation of finite instances does not lead to the eternal, just as the sum of errors does not yield a correct answer. There is no fusion or evolutionary progression from material time consciousness to an eternal awareness. I believe that the sense of eternity exists independently, and time is merely a limited perspective, a perspective that cannot coexist with eternity. It is this narrow viewpoint that we must transcend. Do I believe there's a connection between the eternal realm and the material realms we seem to inhabit? Let me emphatically state, no, no, and no. Let me explain. Think about a chalkboard in math. When we write 2 + 2 = 4, chalkboard, the math isn't inside the chalk itself. The chalk is just a tool we use to represent an idea, a way of showing something that always stays true, like how 2 + 2 always equals 4. This truth is like a law of the universe. It doesn't change with time and doesn't have a beginning or end. Similarly, I don't perceive a connection between the divine realm and the material world. It's akin to observing a chalkboard with mathematical equations. The mathematics represents a deeper truth that stands apart from the medium of the chalk. Some physicists, including Albert Einstein, acknowledged a realm that transcends time. And it isn't theoretical. They're talking about a divine realm, an eternal realm. But that leaves the question of whether or not there is some kind of connection between that eternal realm and what appears as a human state of material things. I see the eternal realm as a realm of pure metaphysics, or pure non-duality. This idea appears in Abrahamic faiths like Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, as well as in Eastern traditions such as Hinduism, Buddhism. This divine realm is singular, existing beyond time and within the present moment, untouched from the limitations of materiality and temporal constraints. Fundamentally, creation is founded upon ideas. Ideas don't have a beginning or an end. They are not bound by the cyclic nature of material things, which is the essence of time. Therefore, the eternal realm and our material world operate on different levels, much like the disparity between the concept of mathematics and the physical chalk used to manifest it. The divine realm remains changeless, whereas the material realm is constantly changing, although it appears to be solid to our physical senses. Surprisingly, the memory of eternal truths resides with our minds. We have become entangled in the material realm and lost sight of these eternal truths.
Thank you.
quantum physicists are beginning to understand that matter do not exist until they are observed. In other words, the measurement problem says that things, microscopic particles, and so on, literally do not exist until they are actually observed and measured. A lot of physicists are coming upon the idea that consciousness is the primary measurement, that you can't have a measurement without consciousness. So conscious thought actually has to precede the observation or the coming into being of anything that is detected as matter. I find this incredibly fascinating because another aspect of physics that's gaining attention is the concept of non-locality or non-localness of events. This idea suggests that an experiment can show one event instantaneously affecting another event, even if they are incredibly far apart, such as in different galaxies millions of light years away. This phenomenon transcends time and is known as Bell's theorem. If consciousness is considered the primary factor in measurement and cannot be confined to a specific location, then it suggests a case in the physics community for consciousness as the fundamental substance of the universe, validating the concept of momentariness in Buddhism. This view, as I mentioned previously, posits a seeming reality composed of discrete moments, kshana, that arise and cease in rapid succession, giving the appearance of continuity. Each moment is distinct and interconnected with the preceding and succeeding moments, illustrating the impermanent nature of all phenomena. However, it's important to note that while consciousness may hold significant importance in illustrating the impermanent nature of all phenomena, it doesn't represent the ultimate reality. There's still one more step to reach that ultimate reality, which lies beyond time. It is the present moment awareness of what the mind knows and knows it now. The grand unified theory is that everything, past, present, and future, is here now. It's exciting to know that quantum physicists, astrophysicists, and cosmologists are gradually moving towards this understanding as a fundamental truth. I recall a story about a man working in a nursing home whose watch bore a simple yet profound message: the time is now. Einstein once joked, "I never think of the future. It comes soon enough." It's a witty remark, but it also holds a profound lesson for finding joy. While it might be hard at first practicing, remembering, to be in the present moment awareness becomes more easier. Many people are fixated on the future, the past, or both, bouncing between the two like a pinball. This mindset prevents them from fully experiencing the present moment, yet they struggle to let go. I've been there myself and know the mental traps it sets. I used to believe that time ruled my life. However, through a transformative journey, I realized that I hold mastery over time. Time is contingent upon me, It awaits my recognition of its subjective nature. This shift in perspective has been liberating. I have come to realize that it was a moment of revelation. As I traveled on a bus that day, a profound insight whispered into my mind, time is an illusion. Seeing through the grand illusion of time was truly enlightening. Physicist Brian Greene, building on Einstein's theory that space and time are relative, has said that space and time are in the eye of the beholder. And Einstein went further. He came to believe late in life that time isn't merely relative or in the eye of the beholder. Time is unreal. It's from Einstein's letter to the widow of a friend who had recently died. To those of us who believe in physics, this separation between past, present, and future is only an illusion, if a stubborn one. Einstein's best friend, Kurt Gödel, considered by many the greatest logician of the 20th century, agreed. Gödel ultimately concluded that time turned out in the end to be the world's greatest illusion. This raises important questions. How do we navigate life with the understanding that time is an illusion? How do we align with eternal truth, and what benefits come from living in the moment? 1. It's crucial to monitor our thoughts and avoid phrases like, no time, I don't have time, or I need more time, which essentially mean, I need more illusion. 2. We must remain vigilant in acknowledging that we truly exist in the present moment while dealing with daily challenges related to time, such as aging or limitations on achievement. Through deep meditation and contemplation, one can transcend time and arrive at the present moment, realizing the true self as the eternal presence. This moment is all there is. An hour from now is the now. A year from now is the now. 1,000,000 years from now is the now. We live and move and have our true being in the eternal now. Around 2,000 years ago, in the ancient Middle Eastern lands, there was a remarkable teacher of metaphysics known by his Hebrew name, Yeshua. He wasn't just a teacher of profound ideas. He embodied the very principles he taught. His core message was that grasping eternal truths dissolves all illusions, including the illusion of time itself. While Yeshua did not delve into time's nature in the modern scientific or philosophical terms, his teachings and parables touch upon themes like time, eternity, and a timeless perspective. For instance, he famously proclaimed, "Before Abraham was, I am." This statement wasn't about temporal existence, but rather about his timeless nature. By saying I am, he conveyed his immortality and timelessness, encompassing past, present, and future in the eternal now. On one occasion, Yeshua directed his followers to a field, challenging their perception of time and growth. He asked, Don't you have a saying, "It's still 4 months until harvest"? I tell you, open your eyes and look at the fields. They are ripe for harvest. In this passage, he uses the metaphor of a harvest to speak about spiritual readiness and the importance and sharing the message of the eternal truth with others. He illustrated that what they perceived as a process already existed in its fullness, ready for harvest. This message hinted at transcending the constraints of time and perceiving the timeless reality behind apparent temporal appearances and sequences. Yeshua's teachings were deeply metaphysical and practical in their approach to life. He moved from point A to point B instantly. He healed people without delay and demonstrated instant manifestation, bypassing the usual constraints of time and space. He proved the nothingness of time when crossing the sea, in feeding multitudes with bread, and by the conspicuous fact that he was never in a hurry. Another aspect of Yeshua teachings related to time is the concept of the kingdom of God, or kingdom of heaven. Yeshua often spoke in parables to illustrate eternal truths, and many of these parables use imagery related to time, such as the parable of the mustard seed or the parable of the yeast, which illustrate the unfolding of kingdom of God on earth. Ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free, was Yeshua's promise. That is to say, the eternal truth, when known, is to set you free. Free from what? It must surely be from something that is not true. The truth, then, is to free us from error and false beliefs. He believed that everyone possessed the innate spirit and power to perform such miraculous acts. His life and teachings exemplified a profound understanding of the eternal truths that transcend the limitations of time and material existence. The greatest demonstration of eternal life, mastering the illusion of time, was Yeshua's great proof in his resurrection from the sepulchre. Much of Yeshua's teachings revolve around embracing the fifth dimension, a realm that transcends time and delves into metaphysics beyond the constraints of physics, including quantum physics. This dimension represents a shift from the concrete world of physical objects to a realm where perception is subjective, viewing everything as a projection of the mind. In essence, the fifth dimension embodies heightened awareness beyond physical limitations, aligning with eternal truths and a profound sense of unity and interconnectedness. It's a dimension where individuals move beyond the ego, experiencing oneness with all beings and the universe. This journey signifies a mental shift from the physical to the metaphysical, a choice in perception between the tangible world and the deeper, interconnected reality. This transition involves inner transformation, elevating one's awareness to resonate with higher dimensions of awareness. Unlike the linear progression of time in the physical world, the fifth dimension is described as a realm where time is experienced differently or even transcended altogether. Here, past, present, and future is perceived as existing simultaneously, creating a holographic experience of time. One understands the power of mind and intention to manifest reality. It's seen as a realm where we play an active role in co-creating our experiences and contributing to the collection awareness. The concept of the fifth dimension intertwines with notions of enlightenment, inner peace, love, and the interconnectedness of life. It symbolizes a spiritual awakening and the pursuit of truths beyond material existence. As one begins to grasp the sixth and seventh dimensions, it becomes evident that these dimensions are not lost, but reside within our mind, awaiting rediscovery. The journey back to these dimensions is guided by inner readiness, leading to a profound awakening regardless of who and what triggers our awakening. Let me remind you of an inspiring quote from the movie Kung Fu Panda. "Yesterday is history, tomorrow is a mystery, but today is a gift. That is why it is called the present." Accepting this gift of the present, this gift of the reality of now, sets you free. Sometimes we make a mistake of accepting the present as being somehow more real than the future or past. Reality is timeless, and time is no part of eternity.